Liverpool are in advanced talks to sign Hugo Ekitike as their new striker. Official bid has been sent to Eintracht Frankfurt. Still not enough to convince the club to sell, but the conversation is ongoing and is advancing very fast. After Liverpool tried to sign Alexander Isak, but at the moment Newcastle are not opening the doors and insist on their stance, not for sale. For this summer, Liverpool are advancing on the deal for Ekitike. Official bid to Eintracht, agreement with the player who said yes to Liverpool. He wants the move. The contract is not an issue, and so Liverpool are now pushing to sign Ekitike from Eintracht, with contacts to continue, and with the French striker who is giving total priority to Liverpool. He had a bid from Newcastle, but now Liverpool, after the Isak story, have entered the race since Monday, and they are now pushing to get Hugo Ekitike.
You're trying to build that relationship. It might start off with a phone call, and then obviously you get an opportunity like we have today. We came to Scotland to meet with the player. You know, 3 or 4 of the team has came across today to present to the lad and his family, and ultimately showcase to him our DNA of the brand, which we believe is why we're the best company and the best fit for this player at his career right now.
Liverpool today, Thursday, are advancing fast on a deal to sign Hugo Ekitike. So let's recap what really happened and what's the situation right now while I'm recording this video. You remember on Monday the bomb, the big story about Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike. I came here on YouTube and I told you Liverpool approached Newcastle for Alexander Isak, but also on Tuesday what happened is that Liverpool, at the same moment while they were discussing with Newcastle for Alexander Isak, showing their intention to present an official bid for Isak worth 120 million pounds, at the same time Liverpool made contact, it was on Monday, with Eintracht for Hugo Ekitike. So basically what was the strategy from Liverpool? Try to get Alexander Isak, go there, express the interest in making a bid. Then, if Newcastle are opening the doors, let's go and do Isak. Otherwise, go get a player who has always been a target for Liverpool. Because if you are here on my channel, subscribed, you know I spent the whole summer telling you, keep an eye on Ekitike in Liverpool, keep an eye on Ekitike in Liverpool. Even when people say that Chelsea is close, keep an eye on Ekitike in Liverpool, because he's always been a target. But obviously, Alexander Isak is a dream target. Liverpool tried. Newcastle keep not opening the doors and maintaining their stance, not for sale, for this summer transfer window. And so what Liverpool did was to attack Hugo Ekitike, who was always a top target for Newcastle, because on Monday Newcastle had a bid rejected for Hugo Ekitike, 78 million euros. Eintracht said no to that proposal. Then the story expired. At the moment, from what I'm hearing, despite yesterday many of you sent me reports of deal advancing with Newcastle, yesterday the day was already over. The story was already over for Ekitike and Newcastle. Newcastle are out of the race to sign Hugo Ekitike, completely out, because Liverpool entered very strong, reached an agreement with the player on a 6-year contract, reached an agreement with his agent, and also Liverpool not only went strong to the player, but also approached Eintracht. That was at the beginning of the week. Now, today, with an official bid. This is the exclusive story from today, because they presented a bid to Eintracht, close to 80 million euros, rejected by Eintracht as they want more. Why they rejected? Because Eintracht in the morning insist that they feel there could be more clubs joining the race for Ekitike. Maybe Manchester United later in the window. That's the feeling of people at Eintracht, that maybe Man United can enter the race, but Liverpool have been very clear. They have an agreement with the player wants to go to Liverpool, the player wants the move to Liverpool, and also the player, Hugo Ekitike, via his agent, communicated to Eintracht that his desire is to go to Liverpool. So now the story is quite clear. Liverpool remain in conversations with Eintracht. The bid was rejected, but was also the opportunity for Liverpool to open official, formal conversations with Eintracht after verbal contact made on Monday. And so now advancing on a deal to sign Hugo Ekitike. This deal could be done any moment, because we know Liverpool love to be fast in their negotiations. So that's what they're trying to do with Hugo Ekitike. Let's see if it's going to be today, this week, next week. We will see. But for sure, Liverpool are accelerating. Liverpool are going fast. The agreement with the player is okay. The salary is not an issue. The relationship with his camp is excellent. Richard Hughes, with his strategy, always had this plan clear. Let's try for Alexander Isak, but Ekitike is not a second choice. He's a player they wanted since the beginning of the window with Liverpool. Then, obviously, if you can get a dream like Alexander Isak, why not trying? But at the same time, Newcastle maintain their position, their doors closed to this story. And this is why, at the moment, Alexander Isak is still not moving from Newcastle. And Liverpool are advancing for Hugo Ekitike. So if they can't get Alexander Isak, if nothing surprising happens on Newcastle side for Alexander Isak, Liverpool will go for Hugo Ekitike. Newcastle are completely out of this race since yesterday, because yesterday Newcastle started calling for different strikers. So Newcastle are back on the strikers market. They wanted João Pedro, he went to Chelsea. They wanted Ekitike, he's close to Liverpool. And so now Newcastle are back into the strikers market, making some contact around already last night and today, showing that this story for Ekitike is completely over. And so let's follow what happens there, but for sure an interesting one.